How worried are we about Chelsea? I felt at times...
I don't worry about Chelsea at all.
No? Well, clearly not.
Are you going to tell me, though, from this moment, day one, I know it's day one, it's early, new manager.
And I think...
Pochettino's Chelsea.
Do you think
they would have started this way?
Watching this match.
No, and I think they would have had a little bit more direction in the transfer window had Poch been there too. Again, I think everything that's going to be said today on the show, because it's match day one, it's the beginning, it needs to be taken with a grain of salt. I don't think it'll be very difficult to make long season, long-term indictments on a lot of these teams.
Can I read what you wrote to the group chat?
Sure.
He goes, we got this text from Nico in our WhatsApp. Chelsea are such a sad club.
It's just, if I'm a Chelsea
clip
fan,
that social.
If I'm a Chelsea fan and I see the transfer policy, the changing of managers, I know it happens a lot at Chelsea, right? But to come out in that first game, De Bruyne was floating in those half spaces with all the time in the world. I didn't think that it didn't feel inspiring. And I wanted to see a little bit more of that first day of school type of energy from Chelsea, and it wasn't there.
But Maresca, the manager, thought it was a pretty good game. He just thinks they weren't clinical, but otherwise than that, he said, hey,
could be true.
We held possession. We had some good moments of play. We were physical, but ultimately we just weren't sharp enough in the attack.
And do you think we'll see a situation similar to last season where it was kind of a mess for Chelsea at the start, and then, I mean, we had Pochettino in charge who kind of figured it out, and they ended up finishing the season fairly well on a high note. Is this fixable for them? Do you have faith in Maresca that he can kind of right the ship?
I don't know.
If he has time.
I don't know about faith in Maresca, but I will say it's absolutely possible that they turn it around. And it's a shame for the players because, Tony, when you have a good rhythm with the manager and you finally understand the team, the identity, and the playing style, and you're ready for the next season, all of a sudden there's a switch in the manager. Now you're changing it up a whole again, the style, the players, the tactics in a way. It makes it difficult. It's almost like, all right, we've made so much progress, now we got to restart again. So, yeah, I think it will take time.
I think coming out of preseason, and it's match day one, so you never really get too hung up. I think you want to have an idea of what the team is trying to do. When I watched Chelsea, I didn't have much of an idea. I had an idea, clearly, Man City knows what they're doing. Arne Slot, we'll get to that in a second. I had an idea of what they're trying to do. That doesn't mean that it's going to look great.
Yeah.
It's not going to click on all cylinders all the time, but you want to have a clear picture in your head when you leave the game of what the manager is trying to do. They've just come off of preseason. Can they turn it around? Excuse me, yeah, because they're a talented roster, right? But I still didn't get it. I'm an analyst, right? That's what I do, and that's what we all do. We look at games, and I just want to have a picture in my head. I can't tell you who Chelsea is based on match day one.
And wasn't that the problem last year as well? To start, it was like, what is the identity?
But we kind of knew it, though.
But there were some signs. There were some signs with Nico Jackson. They had a indication of where they were going with Nico Jackson, with Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, and Poch tried to give that shape. And before you knew it, Chelsea was playing well in the second semester of the season. And as of now, again, goes back to everything I was saying. I think it's way too early to make an indictment, but
certainly
it was just gray. Chelsea did have chances. Ederson was not that sharp at times,
no, he wasn't.
And he could have been tested even more. And had Chelsea themselves been a little bit sharper, maybe we'd be talking about a different scoreline. But the reality is that they lost 2-0. It was what they gave me was gray. I couldn't define it.
Well, I mean, what'd you expect day one? With a new manager.
With so many players on the roster.
Also,
and Jackson, to be fair, right, we talk about Nicholas Jackson, gets so many chances, has to be clinical, has to take that next step. He gets that point-blank chance in front of Ederson, and it was a terrific play to put himself in that position and get his foot on it, but it's right at Ederson. And all he has to do is put it in either corner, and it's a different story. But you see, when you look at Manchester City, Pep Guardiola only made one substitution. And you could tell it's still...
He does it all the time, and then he
still
complains.
preseason pushing guys.
There's too many games. He complains. He never makes 5 substitutes, you know. But they have a clear idea of what they're doing. The picture's
What did you make
crystal clear.
of Pep's quote before the game, saying, or after the game, saying, "We're not motivated to win the league at this point. That's going to come."
You
later
can
at
read
the
it
end.
a bunch of different ways, right? Because
it looked like a team that's very motivated. I mean,
yeah, no doubt. Suze, I feel like Pep Guardiola does these things to kind of divert the attention onto him and not his players, right? We all know they did something last year that no one had ever done, is win 4 Premier League titles in a row, right? He's now going to try and put the icing on the cake now. So I think he's just kind of saying, you know what? My reading is that we're not talking about a Premier League title right now. We've got a lot of steps to get to a point where we feel comfortable saying that we're the best team in the Premier League. For me, I can't read it any other way, but I can understand if somebody says, oh, he's only worried about Champions League based on this. He's not worried about the Premier League, you know, but they've won it 4 times in a row, 5 out of 6, and he's trying to make history. And one thing Pep wants, he's always going for the jugular, Pep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he knows, from what I also interpreted from that quote, was that he knows and his team knows when to dial it up when everybody doesn't have any more energy to do it. That consistency. For example, Arsenal against City. Arsenal was okay drawing City at the Etihad, and City went, all right, now it becomes a test of who's going to be perfect. You guys want to go head-to-head in this battle? Let's do it. Mm-hmm. And City didn't blink. And that's when that motivation, that was that extra bit of motivation. And Arsenal, it took one bad night. It's difficult to go, what was it, 11 games remaining? It's a lot of games. It's difficult to go 11 for 11 when the pressure is on, but City knows how to live with that pressure. City understands what's needed to deliver. So that's what I interpret. It's like, look, the season's going to play out as it plays out. Mm-hmm. And then when we need to dial it up to deliver, that's when our motivation sets in.